three, Warhawks!
Hello, Warhawks. Jacob Horton here, the Warhawks Sports Network. I'm joined by our women's soccer head coach, Jules Herrity. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Well, I know this last year has been very unique for you, just in the sense that, you land your first head coaching gig here at AUM, but a couple months in, things just come to a screeching halt like that. Can you just talk about how this last year has been for you, just with all the ups and downs?
Yeah, it's obviously been a challenge. Got here and then a month in we got shut down, but I've been really fortunate, just the people I've had around me since I've got here. Obviously Jesse and the other administration staff, but then the likes of Maddie on the men's side and even Flavia with volleyball. They've just been great for me in terms of we were working from home for a long time and just trying to figure things out even from that standpoint. Everyone's been super helpful, but I'm grateful that we got to train in the fall, and that gave me a chance to get to know the girls. Before that, it was a lot of Zoom calls, and there's only so much you can do with that. But yeah, the fall was great. Got to know the girls well and what we're capable of doing as a team. Well,
good. For those not as familiar with your backstory, you come from a very successful program at Carson Newman in Tennessee as an All-American player, an All-Decade player also, and as an assistant. But you make that transition from player to assistant, and then assistant to head coach. Just has the way you've seen the game changed as you've progressed throughout the ranks of player to assistant to head coach?
Honestly, not really, because I think the fact that when I played at Carson Newman, I was obviously a bit older. I was 26 when I played there, so I wasn't a young teenager at the time. And I was fortunate enough to play under Richard Moody and then work for Simon Duffy there. So not really. I wouldn't say how I've seen the game change, because I've been coaching probably since I was like 14, 15 within club ranks, but not really how I see the game. Probably the biggest thing I've taken from a player to assistant to head coach is what you do outside of practice. So as a player, again, I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by some really, really talented players who did a lot extra outside of training, and that's why I think we were successful there and why they continue to be successful. And that's something that I push on my girls as well. We only get so much time in training, and to push them individually, they need to be concentrating on their positions and stuff outside of practice. So that's probably the biggest thing throughout those three stages.
One thing I've noticed particularly about your coaching style, you're very hands-on, and not in a literal sense with COVID and all, but just when it comes to showing a player how to do a drill or proper technique, teaching that, or even showing them here's where you put this ball in this set piece. How important is it for you to be able to if I can show a player how to do it the right way, how much more effective is it going to be in terms of just letting them know that's what they're supposed to do?
Right. I think it's really on an individual basis. I've got players who need that to see it. There's players that need to see it 10 times. And then I've got players like my Italian Anila, who didn't play at a really high standard in Italy, but just gets the game. She understands it, she reads it. And then, like I said, some of them, it's a case of demonstration. We might have to look at it on film before they actually, before it clicks for them. But it's on an individual basis. But I like being able to step in at the odd time and show them that I've still got it, but for the most part it's individual, and I'm lucky that we've got a lot of talented players.
And we've had some mixed results so far to start the year, but we are coming off a 1-0 shutout win at Shorter. Just talk about what you've seen from the team so far and what we can expect to see going forward.
Obviously we had a friendly against West Isle and got a result out of that, and the girls were obviously buzzing to get the win, but again, we went from that to losing the Montevallo 4-0. So if anything, that was a wake-up call, and we've got to take it game by game. Playing Montevallo on a lead from the get-go, I think, really helped us to see where we need to be, where we're at, and we need to be able to compete at that level. So that's the plan going forward, is to make sure that every game we show up and we compete, and that's what we're trying to do at the minute, just in practice.
Well, we've got two more home matches here as part of the GSC Spring Championship Series, starting with Valdosta State on Friday. Just talk about what it's going to take over these final two matches to get the results we want.
Really just putting 90 minutes together, which is something we haven't done yet. Even against the Shorter and the West Isle, in those games we didn't put a 90-minute performance together. I thought against Lee we had maybe a 35-minute period where we showed what we can do, but it's going to be, getting on them early, not conceding early, just putting 90 minutes together of what we've been working on in training, and then just transferring it onto the pitch on game days, really, what we need to do.
Well, Jules, it's been a pleasure chatting today. We thank you for stopping by, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.